there is some drama happening, as always, within the One Punch Man scene. And right now, we obviously have this tweet quote retweeting this. But before we read that, let's just watch this difference of the original One Punch Man Season 3 scene and the Grok. Shoutouts to Twitter's AI. Okay, hold up. What was the real difference there? The difference was the character acting in the way that Fubuki is a bit of titty physics right there, right? As you can see, right over here, notice this section, it does move, while the left side is static and only the mouth is moving. So the titty physics move, the arm goes up, and boom, settles in like that. And finally, after the first 2 seconds, the original starts to move, yet it is very bland overall position change. While you see a lot more fluidity in the movements, the titty going up, and a posture that makes sense for a slice of life scene. Does Fubuki even close her eyes in the original? She does not blink at all. That's a thing that obviously people were mentioning regarding, you know, the static PNGs. The hair isn't moving, the eyes aren't moving, and of course, in such a time-constrained project, you're not going to focus on those things because they're trying to really cut corners in order to deliver a product that is barely deliverable, right? So much more movement on the AI scene, a lot more expressive. All right, I see.
わしも一緒に戦っとったんじゃが、埼玉君の部屋で休ませてもらってんだ。ちょいとはしゃいだせいで腰を。
Why Bang taking back shots in the Grok version? What the fuck is this angle, bro?
腰をやっちまって動けなくなって。
Huh? What the hell? What the hell was this? Why, bro? We? Huh? Okay, focus. Let's look at this. So if you look at the difference between Bang from the original and the Grok version is a little bit more obviously movement, right? The head tilt, the overall posture, there's a little bit slight, you know, nudging movement upwards, right? The head moves like that. And these again are very like, I don't even know how many people would actually appreciate these scenes. Because again, remember when Senchi said in the videos that like, you fucking Battle Shonen retards that only know what an impact frame is. You don't care about actual character acting Sakuga that would happen in like Butcher the Rock. So these examples are very, very minor additions to character acting with just body, hair, just more movement that's, again, is it matter that much? Bomb? Okay, just a little bit more expressive, you know, Bomb just like moving his head up and down. We got, you know, Bang's ass out of the frame though. Alright, Fubuki? Yo, Grok is horny. What is this? What, bro? The thing that really stands out to me is not the character acting and the expressions of the faces or the bodies, but it is the fucking titties. The titty. Yeah, obviously the pearls. You know, the overall like collar structure of the shirt is changed. I think that Grok is obviously limited in that it's not going to be able to represent all of that. But what I really find the difference is like the fluidity in the titty physics. The fluidity in the titty physics and a little bit more expression in the overall body movement. I do think it looks decent. Straight up. Grok is trained for this? Yeah, Grok is probably just like, you know, eating up all the fucking hentai and porn and trying to figure out how to give, you know, titty fan service. Damn, this one got too far. Anyways, read The Greatest Estate Developer. I hear that's a legit webtoon and I'm waiting on an anime adaptation of that. Shoutouts to Riva Maisa for, you know, the AI revision. And, you know, that's kind of crazy. 5.1 million views, 23,000 likes. But here's the thing. Okay, so obviously, first of all, there are some weird differences regarding the actual character design, but the movement of the titty physics, this feels kind of like 3D here, right? Grok, like Bang, it does feel like 3D CG movement, but overall, not bad. Way better. It's kind of crazy that like technology has gotten this far to give, you know, even just the slightest of character expressions here. But of course, people are gonna be really upset, right? People are gonna be really fucking upset. And this got 2.4 million views, yet the amount of engagement is actually way higher, right? Half the amount of impressions, yet what is this? Nearly 4 times, right? 4 times the amount, roughly, right? Engagement. And obviously on Twitter, right? There is a lot of hate towards AI. Whenever you have AI stuff happening, you're not going to see people celebrating it. People are very frustrated about it. Let's read this. This shit is so fucking disrespectful to actual artists. It's actually making me feel like puking seeing the amount of people supporting this disgusting bullshit. People aren't supporting artists losing jobs and getting taken over by AI. I don't think so. It's kind of crazy that this guy's actually following me on Twitter, right? What I'm trying to explain is try to think from the perspective of the average consumer. The average consumer doesn't even know what a production committee is. They have no understanding of how anime is made. They don't even understand language models and AI, generative AI, and how that builds upon existing work, quote unquote, stealing content and then reproducing it, right? And the consumer just cares about the outcome. They only care about the final product, and if it's gonna have more movement in the titty physics like this, they're gonna be praising it, calling the original one frame man, and probably ignorantly saying, why do we even need actual fucking animators when AI can do a better job? So first of all, okay, let's unpack that, right? People are simply celebrating this because they're ignorant and they only care about the product. They have no empathy for who's making it. And you know what? Let me give you an example. Let's say you go to a McDonald's and you get a shitty burger because the employees are really stressed out. They had a bad day. It's really busy. And you got your burger and the burger is missing ingredients. You said no cheese, or maybe you said extra pickles. You didn't get any of that. And now you have to wait even fucking more to get a replacement. So the burger right now is the end product. And let's say McDonald's is JC staff and you are the consumer. Won't you be fucking mad? I'd be fucking pissed off. Would I be then empathizing with the actual workers in there? I mean, I've worked in McDonald's kitchens, and because I have that perspective of actually being a line cook, I could understand and contextualize their struggles and probably have a less, harsh judgment. But I think a lot of people don't give a fuck. They're gonna be mad. They might low-key be racist and say, what the fuck are these immigrants working here, right? Somebody might be rage baiting off of that and make some fucking tweets about it. And overall, the people have no empathy for the people that actually made the product. They only care as a consumer about the end product, and that's something that you can't really change. And there's a deeper meaning beyond this, right? Beyond the consumer obviously not caring about the people who made it, AI specifically, how does it work? The generative models that we have right now exist by just eating up content. They need something to exist, learn off of it, then they can give different interpretations off of it. So in the long run, if you glaze AI and support it and consume it, then I guess the movement will be, there will be actually less real artists. Real artists' jobs will be taken over as we have repeated content just taking over. And I see that a lot in doujins and hentai. I might make a separate video about this specific topic, about why, AI is killing porn. Some people might say AI is actually, helping with that. But my God, my favorite website, no longer do I have original work. It's just a bunch of fucking AI slop with the same fucking models. That's so uncanny. And you know what? I kind of like it. That there's such random niche content about art that people would never actually make because it's not trendy to do, and someone else, copied an art style and was able to give it. And you know what? That's kind of cool. But man, there is a flood of the same shit over and over again that may seem different, but at the core, it's the same fucking thing. And that's what's gonna happen with this shit too. The more that you think AI is gonna take over and blah, 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 the less incentive there is for people to actually create real original work. And then how do you think this all started? This shit exists because real original work work exists, right? So I'm trying to try to paint a different perspective in the average consumer in the way that they perceive content, why people don't give a fuck about the employees making the burger or the artist making the art. They probably think that, yeah, let's go AI take over, let's fucking go, it's way better. But that's actually not the case. And you need to understand there's a bigger picture out there beyond the first tree you see. People are so focused on the tree in front of them, they can't see the forest. But do you think that the average person is going to change? I don't think so. I think that the average consumer will continue to have no empathy or respect for who created the product. They only give a fuck about the end product because they're the consumer. And I understand that relationship, but man, I feel like it is very like counterproductive. And if people could realize more about how things work, I think that there might be a better compromise such that we can use AI in order to help situations where things are very restrained. Because I do believe that AI isn't the bane of all evil. I do believe that there is an effective and a productive way in utilizing AI to actually help make good art, but it can't be just completely one way or the other. And as technology advances, you need to adapt with it. Because like this kind of tweet, listen, I understand where he's coming from, and I'm not saying he's wrong, and I totally get the frustrations, but I wonder if this is the equivalent of, you know, people complaining about cars being made when we're still riding horses. I know it's not a very good one-to-one comparison considering how AI works, how AI exists because it's eating up existing work to learn, to spit new shit out. But like, there's a lot of people that makes the comparison of like the industrial revolution and how you can't, you know, wait for people. You can't just like basically hold down the progress of civilization because you want to hold your jobs. And at the core of it, it's that. At the core of it, people are scared and they don't know what's going to happen when their jobs gets taken over by AI. And because your livelihood is tied down to that job, obviously the AI taking over is going to be more impactful, more just like you're going to have a visceral reaction to it. So the overall solution, I think, is you need to have universal basic income. Straight up. If you replace people's dependence on their work to their livelihood, I think a lot more people would actually accept AI in automating a lot of the tasks that is monotonous, that is very unfulfilling. But because our lives are so fucking tied down to the value of a job, and that job is going to get replaced by AI, that's why you have so many people frustrated, upset, and being anti-AI.